But then there's something that we are overlooking concerning God, and that's the fact that God has a need. And we can see that in John chapter 4, 23 verse 24, that God is seeking for something. And it is obvious that nobody is looking towards that which the Father is seeking for. If you look at our relationship with God, you discover our relationship with God is all about what we get. But Jesus was talking to the woman at the Samaritan woman at the well. He said, but the hour is coming, and now is when the true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and word and truth. He said, for the Father is seeking such to worship him. The Father is seeking such to worship him. We need to understand that God is not just a provider. God is a person with his own needs, with his own desire. And there is nobody else to meet God's need and God's desire rather than those whom he has asked the thing from. Here is God saying, I seek such to worship him. Can we see verse 24? He says, God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in what? In spirit and in truth. So God has a personal desire. Bear that in mind. And God also seeks people, not rituals. If you look through the Bible, you discover that everything that has stood as God's problem is not a ritual, is not an act that you did not do or an attitude that you did not show. No. The biggest problem of God has always been man, not the devil. It's even an error to equate the devil as an opposition of God. The devil is not opposing God, though the devil is against God in a way, but even the devil right now is working for the glory of God, because he's where God placed him. The Bible says angels that refuse to take their territory in heaven and disobey, that he cast them down and bind them. So that means the place where the devil is right now, he's at the place where God bind him. He's like in a prison, he's like in a cell. That cell does not mean that he's chained and completely chained physically. No, it just means that God has brought him down from the glory. So, and everything he's doing is still, God is still in charge. Stop viewing God as a resource to be used and start seeing God as a person that needs to be loved.